Morning. It's about 6:15 a.m. The sun is rising beautifully, or starting to rise, and we're getting kind of set here to get heading out. Yeah, that's why if you see one deer, you better slow down, because there's normally not just one deer. There was one deer that crossed when I saw it way up ahead of me, and then 6 more deer followed behind it. A total of 7 deer. Okay, well, little unexpected expense, but I do have money aside for this sort of thing. I've got to pay for parking, and because we're technically out of state, it's $7 instead of $5, but not a huge deal. It gives you parking all day, and we'll go ahead and pay it up and get all set to park and get going. Oh man, I almost just walked right past them. We're not even on the trail yet, and there's ponies over there. That is so cool. Pretty interesting story. I just passed a AT through hiker northbound, hiking with someone else who was just day hiking, but they were saying that the through hiker was camping last night somewhere, and he woke up in the morning to a wild pony out there chewing on his hiking stick, and when he got out of his tent, you know, to grab his stick, the pony, I guess, took off with it and tried to steal his hiking stick, and he had to chase the pony down to get his stick back. But he had both of them when we passed him, so it looks like he was successful and got his hiking stick back from the little thief of a pony. That's cool. Just after we passed that through hiker, came across this. Must be the 500-mile mark from the southern terminus of the Appalachian Trail. So that guy just finished up hiking 500 miles. Quite the feat. Tell you, one day I would love to be able to do that, hike the Appalachian Trail. It's interesting, in order, I guess, to keep the ponies in this area, they've set up a gate of sorts. You have to go through. Now, Mount Rogers is that way if you continue, especially with the wind and the mist and fog and the rain that's going to be rolling in. We're definitely not going to do that today. I would definitely love to get back here someday when the weather's due to be nice for a few days and do like a backpacking trip in this area, because it just looks gorgeous. And like I said, if it weren't for all this fog and mist, I'm fairly sure that we would have some amazing views off the sides of the trail. So we'll go ahead and take advantage of this bench that's here and grab a little break, and we'll call that good for this hike and start our way back. Man, this camera never focuses. Alright, well, the wind is definitely starting to pick up and getting colder up here, so we're going to probably get moving, grab the snack and all that. Well, we got a little bit of shelter from these trees at the moment, but I tell you, up here at these elevations, winds and weather can change pretty quickly. And the wind picked up pretty quick, temperature dropped, and that wind really became a biting cold, sort of, you know, kind of making my face go numb. I've got gloves and hoodie and rain jacket on over my shirt, so definitely chilly. We're gonna try to keep up pretty good pace and stay warm, and move on down back to the parking area and hopefully see those ponies one last time before we leave. But this visit to Grayson Highlands State Park has still been well worth it, well worth the parking fee, you know, and the time and dealing with mist and wind and all that. It's definitely worth seeing all the beautiful stuff I've seen, even with the weather the way it is. So we'll keep moving and try to stay warm and get back down to the Jeep, and I think we'll actually kick on the heat for a little bit this time. Well, that's not right. That's a little better. Well, I'm glad we saw him on the way in, because now I don't actually see sight nor hair nor sound of any ponies out here. So they must have moved on. Oh, we're back at the Jeep. Brownie is fed, and I got some water and caffeine in me. I'm definitely going to have to come back to this area again sometime to do more exploring than I was able to do this time. Okay, well, we're just turning back onto the parkway now and further north. Well, I found a really good spot for us to stay tonight. We're up by this nice view along the parkway, and there's actually a gravel turnout, which you almost never see on the parkway. And it's got a nice spot behind a tree and everything. Fairly level. I parked so that my head will be slightly elevated over my feet. And then there's even another road back here. I'm not sure what it is or what it's used for, but it's on the opposite side of this little parking area. There's no way to get here. They put a big tree in the way. But yeah, should be within regulations. You know, we're fully off the road. We're all parked up and ready, so I'm just grabbing some dinner, and Brownie's got her dinner, and we're gonna go ahead and hang out here for the night. Probably get some video editing done as we watch the storm roll in, and then call it a night and start tomorrow fresh. Now, we actually did go further than we meant to. We must have missed the road for Stone Mountain State Park, which is here at about milepost 230. We're actually past 220 now, up here closer to Cumberland Knob. So, you know, I don't know if we'll actually end up doing Stone Mountain State Park or not. It would have been a fair amount of driving around the park, because the entrance is on the underside of the park there, not from the parkway. But we'll give it some thought and see how the weather is over the next couple days. Check the weather forecast in Virginia and all that. You know, it might make better sense weather-wise even to just go ahead and continue up into Virginia, you know, towards Roanoke and all that. But we'll figure it out and make a plan, and we'll see y'all later. Tell you what, that is just incredible to wake up to this. That's gorgeous. We're getting things kind of together at the Jeep, and we're gonna get heading out shortly. I think we probably will end up just heading into Virginia. That'll put us a few days ahead now, but it's not a huge deal. Go. Parkway enters Virginia. Officially on to our Virginia stretch of the Blue Ridge Parkway. Well, we are heading down the parkway. I'm not sure exactly what our next stop is going to be right now. I'm just kind of playing it by ear. It's kind of funny, you know, we've been basically keeping up with the front edge of the break in the weather, the good weather that we've been having. We're like at the front edge of that advancing north. So we've kind of had nice weather almost all morning. And, you know, when we get there to wherever we're going to stop, oh, wild turkey. But when we get to wherever we're going to stop, you know, we'll have all that good weather that's still behind us, following us, that's going to roll through. So we should definitely be able to get you know, some kind of hike or something in. Okay, well, we're here at the Rocky Knob information area, and looks like we're going this way, I think. I hope. There's a trail around here. I think it's called the Black Ridge Trail Loop. It's 3 miles round trip, rated as moderate. Probably some elevation on it, I'm gonna guess. But I'm gonna go ahead and think I'm gonna hike that. Shouldn't take too long, and the weather should be pretty beautiful for it. So we'll go ahead and figure out where that is and where the heck we are. I don't even know what this road is. Hopefully it'll pop back out somewhere useful though. So we'll get moving and check it out. There's a sign there that says trail. That might be what we're looking for. It's blue blazes on our trail, so we'll see if we can figure this out and get moving here. Okay, we're on trail, looking for a blaze to tell us if we're on the right trail. Hoping so. Keep on moving and see what we can find. Yeah, this looks like a cutoff trail we were just on to get onto a trail. This is yellow blazes here, but it should theoretically change to blue blazes in just a little while up the trail. It's a short yellow connector onto the blue trail. So we'll see. You know, hopefully we don't end up going the wrong way. Even if we do, it'll just add a little bit more distance to our hike. So here's hoping we're going the right way. Okay, here we go. Found a sign. Rock Castle Gorge Trail. I'm actually not sure if that's the right trail. I think it is. I'll have to look at the map again. But I'm pretty sure we just did the little blue connector across the road and up the hill here to the Black Ridge area. But I'll recheck my map. I want to make sure I'm not going the wrong way. Okay, well, I'm pretty sure this is the right way. I sure hope so. It does say on the description that you enjoy the views of Rock Castle Gorge and all that, which this trail is named according to that sign back there. But then the sign at the picnic area calls it the Black Ridge Trail, I think. So I'm not sure if it has multiple names or, you know, if it's just the wrong trail. Hopefully not, but we'll get moving, enjoy the scenery, and hope that we end up going the right direction. So far we're heading the right direction based on orientation, but I just want to make sure that this trail isn't going to be something that cuts off and goes down into the gorge or something like that instead of staying up on Black Ridge. But right now it seems to be kind of staying up, so here's hoping. Beautiful though.
Well, that is interesting. I don't think I've ever ran into the staircase like this before to get over a little barbed wire fence. Okay. Come on, Brownie. Come on. Come on. You got it. Come on. Up. Come on. You can do it. Come on. Brownie. Oh, well, I got over it. Brownie definitely had some problems with that. I had to carry her over. So that was fun. But past it now and keeping on moving. Definitely starting to get some nice views off the opposite side of the trail now. Definitely gaining some elevation too. Oh. We will definitely be losing some elevation before we regain the elevation to the parking lot. So it's alright though. When I started this trail, I looked and it said moderate. I didn't know the elevation, but given the moderate rating and the area, you know, and terrain, I expected that there was going to be a pretty good amount of elevation challenge. So I don't think we'll have too much further though until we're cutting off of the green trail or the Black Ridge Trail, whatever you want to call it, onto the Blue Trail, which is part of the Black Ridge Loop Trail, I believe. So we'll keep moving and see if we can't find that junction. Man, it sure is beautiful up here. Huh. It's interesting. Apparently some squirrel or something was hiding nuts in this stump. I don't know if a bear came by and ripped it open or what, but there's a ton of shells all over in this dead stump material. Really cool getting to see those cows. You know, I've seen a lot of cows in my day, but it's still cool. You always want to be a little careful, especially when there's a bull up there and, you know, mamas with calves. You know, you want to be, you know, courteous to them, give them some room, and try not to startle them or anything. You know, cows have went after people before, you know, so you got to be careful. More than likely they're not gonna, but still good to be careful. So we'll keep going down what looks like a farm road kind of deal, which is the blue connector back to the other side of the Blue Ridge Parkway, and then up to the parking lot. Okay, well, we're about 9 miles away from Ferrystone State Park.
I still haven't gotten any service to check the weather forecast, but if it's similar to what it was this morning still, we should be good for weather, and it's pretty beautiful right now. So we're going to go ahead and chance it and get up there to Ferrystone State Park, see about doing some exploring there, and then get back to the parkway to find a spot for the night. So we'll keep moving and checking with y'all when we get to the park. Okay, well, the camera battery did die on us on the trail, but you guys really didn't miss a whole lot. Just kind of woods walking. I'll keep moving, and we'll go ahead and get back on the parkway. Okay, that's pretty cool. Driving down the parkway, and I'm pretty sure these are flame azaleas that we keep passing. Okay, well, we've actually been here for about an hour. We're at the Pine Spur overlook, and it's a beauty. This is going to be my view for the next night or so, and tomorrow the forecast actually improved. It's looking to be beautiful pretty much all day tomorrow. It's supposed to stop raining by like 8 a.m. or something like that. So I'm pretty happy about that, and I got a nice comfy spot set up with my blanket because it is a little cool and windy up here. But gonna make some pretty good dinner tonight. Some roast beef ramen with shredded teriyaki beef jerky, rehydrated, and rehydrated porcini mushrooms, and some onion powder and minced garlic. And that should be really good for dinner tonight. Oh, and a packet of soy sauce I'll throw in there too. But what a view do we have for the night. Well, we are awake and getting moving. Sunrise this morning is just gorgeous. Oh man, I can deal with that. I don't think it actually rained at all last night. I don't see any rain on the Jeep, so we're gonna go ahead and take our time a little bit and get ready and get going and figure out kind of where we're going today. Oh man, it is chilly this morning. Actually spent like an extra hour just cuddled up under the blankets in the Jeep. I was just cold. It's low 40s right now and pretty windy up here on this overlook, so definitely pretty chilly. But getting our engine warmed up, I'm gonna get some heat going and then throw some trash over there in the trash bin, and we'll keep moving on the parkway and figure out kind of what we're doing today. Oh yeah, another wild turkey running across the road. It's another good reason to watch your speed when you're on this parkway, because it's not just other cars and such that you need to worry about, but there's wildlife crossing the road too. So you come around a corner and you're speeding, you're gonna have a lot less chance of being able to slow down and let that wildlife cross without hitting it. So watch your speed out here, everyone. Oh yeah, there's another one. It's like 7 turkeys that I've seen nowadays, so that's pretty cool.
Lost my money playing poker, so I had to leave town, but I ain't turning back. run out on life no more. So rock me, mama, like a wagon wheel. Rock me, mama, any way you feel. Hey, mama, rock me.
Okay, well, we should be fairly shortly entering into the Jefferson National Forest. We are a ways ahead of time, about 4 or 5 days ahead of time, but it's not really a big deal. The weather should be pretty nice while we're out here. I have no idea what is in this forest exactly, other than what little is on the map. So I'll probably see if maybe there's a ranger station or something that I can pick up a better map at. I'll do that. Otherwise, maybe find some service and look up some stuff on the forest. But either way, we should be there pretty shortly. We are at milepost 116, so we got 116 miles left of the Blue Ridge Parkway. We'll keep moving. Okay, well, we're up here at this visitor center. It's funny, we actually ended up doing both these little spurs off the parkway, but we need to get a map for the Jefferson National Forest. We have one for Shenandoah, but we need one for Jefferson National Forest, and I spoke to the ranger in this visitor center here, real friendly guy, chatted for quite a while, but he was saying if I go up and cut back down, there's an alternate road here that I can get to a shop that'll sell the National Geographic Trails Illustrated map for that area. So we're going to try that, and if they don't have it, we can always head all the way back down to Roanoke, but I'd prefer not to do that. So we'll see, and then we're just going to kind of try to find an area to camp in the Jefferson National Forest in that beginning area, and that'll be about it for the day. Maybe find a short hike depending on if this rain actually lets up like they said it would or not. So we'll give it a shot and keep moving, try to find that map and get into the Jefferson National Forest. Well, the Walkabout Outfitters came through. Lexington Blue Ridge Mountains area has the Jefferson and George Washington National Forest, although we won't be going through George Washington National Forest. Well, we just entered into the Peaks of Otter area. There is a campsite over here, but I don't know if I'm going to necessarily use it. It's $16 a night for a non-electric tent site, and they don't have like showers or anything like that at the campsite. So, you know, it really wouldn't do me a whole lot of good more than just sleeping in the Jeep to pay $16 for a site down there. But there is some interesting hiking opportunities in this area, so what I'm thinking is we will check out the campsite, and you know, who knows, maybe we'll opt to do that. But not Bedford. Let's see here. Yeah, just the picnic areas to the visitor center. Let's check that out. Wow, there's a ton of people here. But yeah, we're gonna find somewhere at least to stay for the night, whether it's pulling off onto the side of the parkway or whatever, and probably try to get some hikes in if the weather might clear up a little like it was supposed to. But if not, tomorrow is supposed to be pretty nice, and we'll just do it then. So we'll figure it out and get parked up here, check out the visitor center, and make a plan. Okay, so I've been checking out the map and looked up some information on Flat Top Mountain Trail. I think if the weather is a little better maybe in a couple hours, it's only like 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock or something now. Yeah, 1:30. So if the weather gets a little better in a couple hours maybe in the early evening, we might do the Falling Water Loop over here. That's it's like 1.3 or 1.8 miles, something like that, under 2 miles, rated as moderate, and it's got the Cascades on it and all that, so it would be a little bit of an easier hike. Now, Flat Rock Trail is going to be a pretty challenging hike. I would like to do it if possible, especially if the weather is good tomorrow, but we would need a fair amount of time and all that for it, because it's about 5 miles each way, so 10 miles round trip, and you gain almost 2,000 feet in elevation over that time, plus whatever ups and downs, you know, and that kind of that sort of deal. So it's definitely a challenging hike, you know, and I'd like to see about doing it. They say there's supposed to be spectacular views along the trail, and yeah, we'll see about, you know, possibly trying to fit that in. But if the weather doesn't cooperate, or, you know, whatever else may happen, it may not happen. But for now, that's our plan. You know, if we get a break in the weather, you know, we'll do that trail across the road for the Cascades. Otherwise, probably tomorrow, if the weather's good, we'll get the Flat Top Trail in, hopefully. So
we'll go ahead and kind of get set up here for the night. Maybe run some heat in the Jeep. And probably see you guys before bed. Alright, well, I officially made myself a little hideaway from the wind for now. Stuck the tarp up over the hatch, hung my blanket up, and that really gives me some nice cover from the wind, plus some privacy because I'll probably change and wash my face and such. So go ahead and sit back and relax for now though. And Brownie's doing good. She wants dinner, don't you? Uh-huh. Yeah, you always want dinner, don't you? Yeah, you're cute enough to get away with it too, aren't you? Good girl. Alright, well, we'll see you guys maybe around dinner time. Okay, well, we're nice and comfy here. Brownie's got her blanket over her and all that. Sun's actually starting to come out, and the forecast is looking, you know, it's still going to be chilly and a little windy, but the sun's supposed to come out more and more. It's about 10 after 3 now, so I think what we're going to do, as long as the weather seems to stay kind of similar, is we're going to wait until probably about 4 or 4:30, and then we're going to go ahead and do the Cascades hike, which shouldn't take more than about an hour or an hour and a half, something along those lines. Okay, well, the weather improved a good bit, so I'm going to do the Falling Water Cascades trail. It's still pretty chilly. I actually ended up bringing my puffy jacket, and I'll probably end up losing it a quarter mile onto the trail, but even so. But we're gonna go ahead and get going on the trail and check out the Cascade. All right, moving along on the Falling Water Cascades trail loop. It's about 1.5 miles round trip. Definitely some elevation change, but nothing too horrible. Yeah, I would like to get closer, but I just can't see any good way to get down there safely. So I don't think we're going to get real close to these, but even from up here, they're pretty beautiful. I think I'll go ahead and take a little break on this bench, and grab a snack, and start getting ready for this uphill. And there's actually a spot to get over towards the creek here. It's pretty cool. Bunch of leaves on my stick. Well, that is a slight complication. I didn't look at the map quite close enough, but we actually, this isn't just to get down by the creek. You're supposed to cross the creek here. I don't know if there's normally a bridge over that stone pile or what, but it's a pretty dicey crossing, especially with Brownie. So, I don't know. We'll see. You know, and then you actually have to cross back over the creek later. So it might be better for us to just turn around and go back up the same way we came down, but we'll see. At the very least, I'm going to explore around a little and see if I can either find a way across or a nicer view or something. Well, I don't think we're going to have much luck getting across. However, this view is pretty awesome. think we're getting pretty close to the top. Found this nice big plant, got roots and all of what I'm fairly certain is garlic mustard. The leaves have kind of this spade shape almost with the frills. I think aspen leaves might be kind of shaped similar, but and then at the top they'll get yellow or white flowers, I believe. That's what I saw on the ones down below, at least, was kind of light yellow and white flowers. But we'll double check in our book before we eat any of this, of course. But I'm pretty sure that this is mustard green, or garlic mustard, I should say, and that it is what they are trying to eradicate around here. So, oh yeah, cool. Just made it up to the trail junction. We're actually technically parked at the Flat Rock parking area, so we'll go straight here about 200 feet and we'll be back to the parking area. So then we can double check our book, make sure this is, you know, what you can see that people are pulling. And yeah, all this stuff in the trail that people have pulled have the same kind of leaves, same whitish flowers. So I'm pretty sure that that is what this is. So still though, gotta double check. You don't want to eat something that you don't know what it is. Okay, I'm happy to say that I was right. This is garlic mustard. It's got the triangular, almost heart-shaped, coarsely toothed leaves, which this does. And white flowers, April to June, like we've been seeing on them, the white flowers. And the leaves alternate like this, you know, where they're opposite sides, every other leaf kind of deal. So this is definitely garlic mustard, and it says there's no poisonous lookalikes or anything like that, so we're safe to use this. So we'll go ahead and have a little bit of a wild garlic mustard in our soup tonight. That should be pretty good. Now we'll go ahead and kind of get set up here and probably get started on dinner fairly shortly. I doubt that this will keep real long now that I pulled it, so probably want to use it fairly soon. Oh, I made that ramen meal for lunch. Put some of that wild garlic mustard in there, and onion powder, black pepper, some soy sauce, teriyaki beef jerky, porcini mushrooms, and the roast beef ramen. And it is delicious. I mean, it tastes like some restaurant quality ramen, really. And the teriyaki beef jerky, it's cool. It added the teriyaki flavor, and it also added some sweetness to it, you know, almost like if you added some brown sugar or something. So it's really, really good. And I'm enjoying that, so I'm going to sit here and finish this up and figure out what we're going to do for the night. Probably do a little video editing, maybe watch a movie, and pretty much that'll be it for today. And then tomorrow, as long as the weather cooperates, we'll be going up Flat Top Trail. So that should be cool. See you guys a little later. Well, it finally happened. We were parked over here on this overlook by the trail we want to do in the morning. And just laying in the Jeep, you know, windows, coverings up, light on, you know, inside. I'm just getting ready to kind of head to bed. It's after 9 now, and all of a sudden there's red and blue flashing lights outside my Jeep and flashlight shining into my Jeep. So took down the window covering. Sure enough, there's a park officer outside my Jeep, and I get out and I say, you know, can I help you? And he says, yeah, you know, you can't be staying here tonight. You got to go to one of the campgrounds on the parkway. And he directed me either up towards Peaks of Otter Campground or Otter Creek Campground. Both of them are $20 a night. But either way, we've got to move on here. Thankfully, he was kind enough to give me just a verbal warning instead of a ticket, which he could have done, I guess. But yeah, I guess I didn't think I was outside of regulations because I'm fully in my Jeep, you know, and it's just like overnight parking. But all right, well, I guess we're going to be driving in the dark for a while and either coughing up the money for a campsite or trying to find somewhere with a Walmart nearby the parking, or nearby the parkway, and try to find a spot we can sleep for the night. So, well, about an hour and 25 miles later, finally, and you know, a lot of searching, finally found a spot. This is all forest land, George Washington National Forest out on this road. It's not an ATV area, so it's not restricted for camping. There's no private land here, so we don't have to worry about that. We're off the parkway, so that isn't a problem. So this all should be within regulations. We should be considered dispersed camping or roadside parking here.
and I don't think we're probably gonna have anyone come down this road anyways. It's a little ways off of a highway, I guess, that's off the Blue Ridge Parkway, so definitely should be all right. And yeah, after all that time spent searching and driving and finally getting a spot now here, it's going on 11 p.m. and I'm just gonna call it a night and we'll start tomorrow. So kind of frustrating, honestly, but got it sorted out. Yeah, and that's the other thing. I had like 2 or 3 bars of cell phone signal at the last spot I was at where the officer told us to move along. I have no signal here, and I haven't had any signal for 20 miles. So not a huge deal though. I'm just gonna pass out and call it a night. Well, it's about 7:45 a.m. now. Made it through the night without getting yelled at by anyone else, so it's good. We only actually, I think, had like 1 car the whole night go by on this road, so worked out pretty well. Oh man. But we're gonna go ahead and warm up the Jeep a little bit and make sure we got everything together here, and then hop back on the parkway and head a little further north. Now this here, I believe, is one of only 2 tunnels along the parkway that are in Virginia. There's like, I think like almost 50 tunnels or something along the Blue Ridge Parkway, and only 2 of them are in Virginia. So this is kind of neat, you know, getting to see one of those, and I believe this is the only one we went under so far, so there's probably one more that we'll check, or that will see that check lights there, but that will see before we end up ending the parkway. So we'll keep moving. Pretty neat. Okay, well, we're back on the parkway now. I think what we're gonna do is like 3 or 4 miles, something like that, up the road. We're gonna hit a junction for Highway 60, and that can take us pretty shortly down into the town or the city of Buena Vista, Virginia. And I'm hoping that we can kind of just go ahead and get down there. We'll probably fill up on gas a bit, maybe grab some kind of breakfast and regroup and reorganize and figure out what the heck we're gonna do for the next day or 2 on the parkway. Now, I really don't want to just complete the parkway and end up in Shenandoah tonight. It's too early, so we'll go ahead and do that, you know, hop on 60 and head over to Buena Vista, and we'll check in with you guys when we get down that way. Okay, well, we got ourselves our fix for the morning, our Subway breakfast sandwich, and we're gonna go ahead and head up here and get some gas. That'll bring us to, well, we'll get back up to the mountains a little after 10 a.m. and we can kind of look for a spot to get set up for a hike and get moving. All right, well, we just pulled off at an overlook, had our breakfast and all that, and I was looking at the map. I really should have gotten a map of this forest area before doing the trip, so I could have reviewed it ahead of time, because I had some time allotted for this area, you know. But we're gonna be lucky to be able to fill 1 day, maybe 2 more days in the Jefferson National Forest, George Washington National Forest over here. I was actually looking at the map, and right now we're at about milepost 45, something like that, so 45 miles until the end of the parkway. And the nearest hiking trails, and there is a fair amount of trails in the area that I'm talking about, but they are about 20 miles away, near milepost 25. So we'll kind of just be doing some hiking and camping near the end of the Blue Ridge Parkway, I guess, and then heading up into Shenandoah National Park. You know, there's not a whole lot to be done about it. You know, it's not like I'm passing a bunch of stuff. There's overlooks and all that, but nothing really for hiking. So we'll go ahead and get down towards this area with hiking trails and figure out kind of what we're gonna do and go on from there. Now, this is some backwoods mountain roads right here. Huh. Oh boy. But I think this is the final road we need to get on to get over to the trailhead for that river trail. At least that's the hope. Oh, is it dead ending? Really? What the hell? Maybe not. Okay, we'll figure this out. Okay, well, I have no idea if we took the wrong turn or where we are exactly. Now there's this up ahead, and I don't know about that. You know, it's fairly shallow, but it looks like the road is kind of broken up underneath where that water is. So I think we're gonna go ahead and turn around and say forget this hike for now. We'll waste the mileage and get back to Blue Ridge Parkway and get some more easy to locate hikes.
This should be the trailhead area, so we'll find a spot to park and figure out what's going on over here. This is not the trail that we thought it was. This is not 503 here. We are in a parking area up near the overlook like it shows on the map, but I've driven back and forth across this section 3 times now looking, and there's no parking area, and I cannot find any trailhead for that trail.
Yay today. Yeah, now I just almost got head-on collided with a bunch of people who are in little lowriders racing up and down this mountain road. You know, they're in my lane, they're flying down this road. It's 20-mile-an-hour curves. They must have been going at least 50. You know, it's just one thing after another today. You know, and it's sad, you know, because it's like I've done this whole parkway thing, and then I got into Virginia, and I went from being an enjoyable, inviting, you know, fairly easy to manage experience to being such a pain and so expensive and, you know, bogged down by regulations and fees and everything that I just don't even want to be on the parkway anymore. I just want to get it finished and be done with it, because it hasn't really been all that enjoyable the last couple days due to all that. So what are you gonna do?
Okay, well, we're here at Dripping Rock parking area, and I finally found something we can do a little hike on. It's gonna be the AT, actually, if this camera will focus. Come on. Man, what in the heck? Okay, well, that took forever. At Dripping Rock parking area, the AT crosses from to our right across the road here, and then kind of up along this ridge line. You lose some elevation on the way down here, and we're probably not going to go at least any further than in front of Raven's Roost. So we shouldn't lose more than, I don't know, a few hundred feet in elevation. Probably won't be more than about a mile each way, but we're just going to do an out and back hike along that ridge there, and try to see about getting a little hiking in finally. I know Brownie's getting restless. She's ready to get going and do a little hike. So yeah, like I said, the AT comes in right back there. Cooler reflection's kind of in the way, and then it crosses over and starts back in that direction. So that's the way we'll be going. We'll get parked up and get ready and get moving. Finally hitting a hike today, and the sun's coming out. All right, we're crossing the parkway and hopping on the AT. Pretty neat flowers over there of some kind. Yeah, with some of these sections of trail, it's like going back to your childhood when you played the game where the floor is lava, but instead the mud and water is lava, and you gotta stay up on rocks and roots to keep yourself from getting too dirty. But I think this is the last little uphill chute to the road. Yeah, I remember this rock here actually. So yeah, and I can hear traffic up there too. So we should be back in just a minute. Okay, well, we are back at the Jeep, and that is honestly, unless we hop back on the AT somewhere around here, that's about it for hiking that's left in the forest here. So what I think we're gonna do, because it's only about 1:45 now, is we're gonna head up and into Waynesboro, and we need to do more or less a full resupply. And either we will be coming back down on the parkway and possibly camping somewhere in this area in the national forest, not on private land, so it would have to be like down in this area somewhere. But possibly doing that, or if that doesn't work out, we'll just go back up to Waynesboro, and we could probably just stay at the Walmart there for the night. So either way, we'll get it figured out and get moving, and go get our resupply done for the month. Okay, well, we are officially down to the last about 2.5 miles only on the Blue Ridge Parkway. So very excited to say that we're about to complete the entire length of the Blue Ridge Parkway, every mile of it, from south to north. So that's pretty cool. I can definitely check that off the bucket list. And we're gonna go ahead and get over to Waynesboro and hit the Walmart and get all that stuff done. And more than likely we'll probably just stay at the Walmart down there, so we don't have to drive all the way back up onto the parkway. I guess it'll kind of depend on what the Walmart looks like, their parking lot and all that. But either way, we'll get it figured out and get down that way and check in with y'all then.